Let's stop pretending for a second. We've all seen those retirement calculators. You know the ones that show a beautiful, smooth upward curve where you put in a few $100 a month and suddenly, at age 65, you're a multi-millionaire sipping a drink on a beach. It looks so clean, it looks so easy.
But here's what those calculators don't tell you. Life is not a spreadsheet. Life is a fist fight. Between the ages of 20 and 40, you are going to get hit. You're going to deal with inflation, job losses, health scares, and the soul-crushing realization that the middle-class dream is getting more expensive by the hour. The question isn't just, when should I invest? The question is, when are you ready to start brutal investing? Because gentle investing isn't going to cut it anymore, not in this economy. There is a massive debate right now. One side says, start at 20, even if it's just $10. Compound interest is magic. The other side says, wait until you're 30. Use your 20s to build your skills, travel, and increase your earning power so you can actually invest meaningful amounts later. Both of them are right, and both of them are dangerously wrong. Let's look at the 20-year-old perspective first. If you're 20 right now, you have something that a billionaire would give up their entire empire for: time. You have a 40-year runway. If you start now, the math is undeniably on your side. But here's the brutal reality of investing in your 20s. You're usually broke. Putting $50 a month into an index fund while you're struggling to pay rent or eating instant noodles feels like trying to fill a swimming pool with a dropper. It's discouraging. You look at your portfolio after a year and you've made, what, $30? You think, why am I even doing this? I could have used that money for a weekend trip or a better laptop. This is where most 20-year-olds quit. They see the slow start and they give up on the habit.
But brutal investing at 20 isn't about the money. It's about the wiring of your brain. When you invest at 20, you are training yourself to be a predator in the market rather than prey. You are learning to watch a 10% market dip and not feel a thing. You are building the financial callus that you will desperately need when you're 40 and playing with real money.
Now, let's talk about the 30s. This is where most people actually wake up. You're likely making more money now. Maybe you've hit that 80K or 100K salary mark. You feel like a grown-up. But you also have 10 years less time than the 20-year-old. You realize that to catch up, you can't just save a little. You have to be aggressive. You have to be brutal. Starting at 30 means you don't have the luxury of slow and steady if you want true financial freedom before you're too old to enjoy it. You have to cut the fat. You have to look at your lifestyle, the nice car, the expensive apartment, the $15 cocktails, and realize that those things are literally stealing your future. At 30, investing isn't a hobby, it's a rescue mission.
So, 20 or 30? When is the best time? The brutal truth is this: the best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is the moment you realize that no one is coming to save you. Not the government, not your boss, and probably not your inheritance.
If you start at 20, your strategy is volume of time. You let the clock do the heavy lifting. You don't need to be a genius, you just need to be a robot. You automate it, you forget it, and you let the world's most powerful force, compounding, work its silent magic. But if you're starting at 30, your strategy has to be volume of capital. You have to dump massive amounts of money into the market. You have to live like you're still 22 while earning 35-year-old money. That is the only way to close the gap. It's painful, it's a sacrifice, it's brutal, but it's necessary.
Let's get into the mechanics of why I call it brutal investing. Traditional investing is passive. You put money in, you hope for 7%. Brutal investing is active. Not in the sense of day trading, but in the sense of how you manage your life to feed the investment machine. It means every time you get a raise, your lifestyle stays exactly the same. That raise, it goes straight into the fire. It means when you get a tax refund, it doesn't go toward a new TV, it goes into your brokerage account. It means you stop caring about beating the market and you start focusing on beating your own consumption. People ask me, but what about living my life? What about balance? Look, I'm all for balance, but balance is the most common excuse for mediocrity. If you want a life that looks like everyone else's, working until you're 67, worrying about the price of healthcare, hoping Social Security is still a thing, then by all means, be balanced. But if you want a life that is truly yours, where you own your time and your decisions, you have to be unbalanced for a period of time.
If you're in your 20s watching this, start today. I don't care if it's $5. The psychological win of becoming an investor is worth more than the $5 itself. You are telling your lizard brain that you are a person who prioritizes the future over a temporary dopamine hit. You are building the engine. If you're in your 30s or 40s watching this, stop mourning the lost decade. Stop saying, "I wish I started earlier." That ship has sailed. You are in a different fight now. You have the income, you have the maturity, and you have the urgency. Use that urgency as fuel. You don't have the time advantage, so you have to use the aggression advantage. You need to be the person who finds ways to invest 30%, 40%, or 50% of their income. It sounds impossible, but for those who are truly squeezed, the impossible is the only way out. Here is the secret that the wealth managers won't tell you. The math is simple. It's the behavior that's hard. Investing is 10% math and 90% not being an idiot with your emotions. When the market crashes, and it will, the 20-year-old who started early won't panic because they've seen it before when their stakes were low. The 30-year-old who starts late has to develop that iron stomach instantly. You have to learn to love red days. Red days are sales. Red days are when the brutal investor gets rich and the casual investor gets out. So, what's the verdict? If you're 20, your brutality is in your discipline, not missing a single month no matter how much you want that new pair of shoes. If you're 30, your brutality is in your lifestyle, cutting the things you thought you needed to make up for lost time. There is no perfect age, there is only now. The squeeze we talked about in my last video? Investing is the only way to push back. It's the only way to build a wall between your family and a system that wants to keep you working until you're old and tired. I want you to do something today. Don't just think about this. Open the app. Set the transfer. Even if it's an amount that feels pathetic. Because a pathetic amount invested is infinitely better than a perfect amount that only exists in your head. The world doesn't care about your intentions. The market doesn't pay you for your plans. It only rewards your capital. Whether you're 20 or 30, the clock is ticking. You can either be the person who watches the clock or the person who owns the clock. Decide which one you are. Thanks for watching. If you're ready to start being brutal with your finances, leave a comment below with the age you started and the one thing you're cutting out this month to feed your investments. Let's hold each other accountable. I'll see you in the next fight.